This week on my sewing journey, I will be working on a thread catcher and tool bag. This is a bag to hang by your sewing machine that holds all your little tools that you need to do your project. What I simply did was I cut out 2 pieces of fabric for the front cover, and then I took this pretty little piece of fabric and put it all around to make the pocket. Now what you're going to want to do first is sew the pocket onto your front cover, because afterwards it's a little bit harder. You could do it afterwards, but it is a lot harder to do. So when you sew this on, you're going to sew straight down and around and all the way up to the back, and then you're going to decide what size you want your pockets to be by deciding what you want to have by your sewing machine. I need a hem gauge. I needed a pen. If I can get the pen out. There we go. I needed my stitch ripper, which I think every sewer needs one of those. My stiletto, a marking pen for my fabric, my scissors, which I'm always losing when I'm by the sewing machine, and my tape measure. So I have all that in mind, and I made the pockets to the size of the stuff that I wanted to have next to my sewing machine. Next, you will cut out your lining fabric. This is the part where you're going to put your thread waste in and little sewing scraps, little pieces of fabric. So you sew the cover first. After you do the pocket, you sew right sides together, and you're going to sew all the way down, and then you're going to leave out a little notch. And the reason being is if you want the bag to sit square. If you don't want the bag to sit square, then don't worry about it. And this little notch you fold together like this, just like this, and you sew straight across. And that will give you that nice little box corner. You're going to do the same for the lining. Stick the lining in. And I like to use bias tape on the top because I think it's a lot easier to sew the two together with just the bias tape there. You just place the inside of the lining right inside there. No big problems there, and you just sew around. Now I used a piece of elastic. I sewed that on there because I'm going to use one of these buttons, probably this one here, to attach my bag to my sewing mat. And then it'll just hang down and I'll have all my tools right where I need it. I hope you like this idea. Please like and subscribe, and happy sewing!